Investor so often. I appreciate it. I signed on the endowment. Excellent. Full 100% support.
Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey guys.
Hi. What do you think about the election today?
Elections, you wait till 9 o'clock and you see what happens. That's,
How important is it to you?
Look, you know what? I think the press has had more fun with this than I have. I've been working and we've been putting together a budget that matters for the state, and as I just said, investing in the educational future of the state, reforming Medicaid, and it'd be nice if a few of the legislative staff have been around to work on that over the last couple of days.
Will we have another special election to replace whoever loses in the Assembly?
I hadn't even thought about that. I guess one of them is going to win, so it's, I have to see how that works out.
Senator Bruno reiterated his claims today that your goal is to take over the entire, not only the Senate, but the entire state government.
All right, next question.
No, why won't you respond?
He said it. That's good. Okay, next.
Is that, do you want control of the state Senate? You've obviously said that's a goal of yours.
I have said repeatedly that I look forward to working on the issues that confront the state of New York, and that's why we've been waiting for going on a year now for the Senate to pass WICs, for the Senate to pass paid family leave, for the Senate to confirm some of the most talented individuals in New York, whom mysteriously they haven't yet taken up to confirm on critical boards and administrative positions in the state of New York. So I think the Senate should come back, do its work, and put out a one-house budget, which they're obligated to do pursuant to law in the near term, that will permit us to negotiate something. I gather from my conversations with some of my colleagues in the Assembly that their revenue figure, and understand that because of the Budget Reform Act that we passed this past year, we have to agree on a budget, on an expected revenue number by Friday, or else we'll kick it over to the controller for him to determine what that number is. Times are bleak right now, and there's a sense of reality that I know, or I believe, will be demonstrated in the revenue figures we'll see from the Assembly, both the majority and the minority, and I imagine the Senate minority as well. I hope that we see that same sense of reality from the Senate majority, so we can begin a genuine conversation about what spending should be captured in the budget that we'll pass, hopefully on time.
When driver's licenses made available later this year, the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative, are you going to get one of those personally, or will you?
Am I going to get one? Hold on a second. Let me check my driver's license. I'm not sure when it expires. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be reapplying. We did, and my recollection is that we, and I'd have to check on this with Dave Swartz, but we said that we tried to get WITI compliance, Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative compliance, by midsummer, so that those who are primarily those in the western part of the state who go back and forth, but also the northern border as well with Canada, since they're the ones most affected by it, it will make it easier for them to cross into Canada and come back, and I hope we will have that ready to go by midsummer. I think that was what we said. It will depend to a certain extent upon getting the technology up and running, and Homeland Security, federal Homeland Security, getting its stuff ready. So we'll have to wait.
Can I ask you a different question?
Sure.
In Saratoga County, there's a case where a school bus driver has been arrested for sexual abuse.
In Saratoga County? Okay.
Yes, sexual abuse of children.
Right.
And he was on a child abuse register, but the school district was not able to have access to that. Do you think that law should be changed?
It certainly when you say it that way, it certainly sounds nonsensical that he would have been on the register, but the school district couldn't see it. I'd actually have to look at it to see why that was, because my sense was that those registries were accessible to people who were in those positions. Obviously, we'd have to look at that and come to some quick determination. Look, last year we passed some of the better laws in the nation on issues of sexual predators and recidivism, and so hopefully, if there's a glitch in the law, obviously we should take a look at it.
One more question.
Governor, the Senate said today revenues are about $100 million more than you're estimated, which is fairly low by their standards.
They said 100 more?
Yeah, 100 million more.
Is that going to be their what they come out with in their budget? All right. Well, that's.
So that's unreasonable to you, or is that going to make it harder or easier?
Well, look, if they are 100 million above where my number was, that in the context of a $125 billion budget, give or take, that is a zone that certainly would suggest that negotiation is feasible. These are numbers that do in fact vary day by day. Virtually every day we actually look at our revenues, see what checks are coming in the mail, quite literally, in terms of tax payments, online of course as well. And so if they're only 100 million above us, that would suggest possibly there could be an agreement by Friday evening. I think the Assembly number is going to be a bit, more than that below us in terms of how their econometric analysis comes in. So we'll have to work through it by the end of the week if we can.
Okay, guys. Are you going to have an on-time budget or a responsible budget?
of your life?
Left on time versus irresponsible. Well, as I always say, we you know, it's kind of hard to be in favor of irresponsible, I would think. But
I mean, responsible or on time. No other choices.
That one, I think we're going for both.
So there was going to be funding for 2,000 more.
That's great.